All right, guys, everybody's seen my screen, right? Let me just clear this off first. Okay, so you should be seeing, so you should be seeing what is a pitch deck. So in the first, or in one of the first workshops, DeAndre would have done a presentation on pitch decks, or pitching your business idea to potential investors. While DeAndre is an entrepreneur and would have had experience with actually pitching to investors or pitching to clients and partners. I am not an entrepreneur, but I am an entrepreneurship major at UTech. So it's still relatively an area that I know. And forgive me for not introducing myself already, but I'm Tavoy Barrett. I would have communicated with quite a few of you guys, but you wouldn't have realized that it was me. So real quick, we're just going to go through this presentation as much as possible, guys. Try to make notes. The presentation is really straightforward and simple, and you will have access to the document after this session ends. So we're just going to go through starting right about now. So what is a pitch deck? A pitch deck is a brief presentation used for introducing your business or introducing the business that you operate to potential clients, customers, partners, and in most cases, investors, or in the high case scenario to investors. A pitch deck can be created using PowerPoint, Keynote, or Prezi. And for persons who don't know about Prezi, you can definitely go ahead and check out that software so that you guys can have access to it to actually complete your pitch decks after this session. So a big end goal from this presentation is that we want you guys to go ahead and create and submit your pitch decks. And after submitting, or after you have submitted those pitch decks, we will have a look at them, review them, give you pointers, and grade them. And the best ones will be winning some prizes. So moving on from that, the slides of a pitch deck. Now, on this, what you are seeing here, it's 12 slides, but some of these areas can be collated into one slide, making it to about 10 slides. So try as much as possible, and you might want to make a note of this, try as much as possible not to have your pitch deck going over 12 slides. And 10 is the ideal amount, but let's just put it at 12 to be safe. So you want to start with your introduction. The introduction can be, in most cases, can be connected to the team slide, and the team slide shows the people behind the idea and what it is that they do in the company, or what's their role to the overall operations of the business. The introduction slide would show what the business is about and what it is that you guys offer, the service that you offer, but in a brief way. And that's one of the reasons why you can combine the introduction and the team slide together. Of course, you'd be in, as the entrepreneur, as the CEO behind the idea, you would be included in that team segment as well. So you would just put yourself. So let's say you have yourself as the CEO, you have a financial controller, you have someone for marketing, someone on logistics. So you put pictures of who those persons are, and also what it is that they do in the business. As we go along, I'll be referencing the Airbnb pitch deck quite often, because the Airbnb pitch decks is one of the first pitch decks to have actually one of the first pitch decks that was made public, and is also one of the pitch decks that are hailed, or that is hailed as one of the standard setters. So persons normally reference the Airbnb pitch deck because of how well done it is. Separate and apart from how much money they raise from that specific pitch deck. So after you have introduced yourself and the team, the next step is now to introduce the problem. And all of these are individual slides. So this is a slide specific or dedicated specifically to the problem that you are trying to solve. The problem slide should clearly and directly state, or should be clear, direct, and undisputable statements. So you don't want to have too much information on the page. You don't want it to be a case where persons have to be reading all through 10 lines of pages. So you want to simplify it as much as possible. And also you want to let it be undisputable, so undebatable. That part is very important. So they shouldn't be saying, but is this really a problem though? They shouldn't be wondering, so has this always been something that needed to be fixed? Isn't there somebody else doing this? So you want to grab the attention from that problem slide. Moving forward to the advantages and the solutions can be grouped. And if you remember earlier, I had said that there are some of these slides that can come together to make individual slides. And this is one of those scenarios. So you have highlighted the problem in clear, direct, and undisputable statements. So now what you are going to do, and we're going to jump to number 5 just for a quick second, and then I'll explain why. Now what you're going to do is you're going to connect the solution that you have to those problems that you have stated. So let's say you have listed the problem in 3 solid statements. You are now going to propose your solution for that problem, or for those problems, in 3 solid statements. Everybody following so far? You can just comment in the chat. Everybody is good. Let me just check. All right, so I'm not seeing anybody, but I'm just going to assume that silence means consent. Okay, okay. So now that you have highlighted the problem and connecting your solution to that problem, the next step is to now show what the product that you have for this service. So the product or service that you have for this problem. And this is where you get to show exactly what it is that you have. You get to show how it works. Let's say, for example, you want to sell a car that doesn't pollute the environment as much. You can include a video of that. Let's say you want to start a business that focuses highly on marketing other person's startups. You can show a demo of how it is that you intend to do this using whatever individual solution. So let's say you're going to use Instagram or social media in general, Google advertising. You can include all of those stuff in the product aspect. And this is very important because this is now the chance that investors get to see what exactly it is that they are investing in. And remember as well that the pitch deck also shows, or the pitch deck isn't just for investors, but it's also for customers, and it's also for potential team members or co-founders, co-partners. So they would definitely want to know what it is that they're investing in, or what it is that they're getting onto. And the next slide, but just before I move on to the next slide, we're jumping back to the solution for a quick second. It is said that if you are able to answer or tell the problem that your business solves in about 10 words or less, then you have mastered the art of basically an elevator pitch. So if you can tell in 10 seconds, or let's say 20 seconds, exactly what it is that the problem that you are after and the solution that you have for that problem, then you have mastered the art of an elevator pitch. So you want to, as much as possible, you can try to time yourself and see how best it is that you can highlight that problem and then state what that solution is in under 30 seconds. Let's just put it at under 30 seconds. All right, so moving on to number 7, traction. So this is basically proof of concept. So yes, you have a product, yes, there is a problem, yes, you know the solution, but does this work? So you actually have to have a, let's say you have a demo group of customers or a demo group of clients that you are trying it out with. You give them this service or this product for free. You get to actually get their feedback, get their response on how it was. Of course, you'd use the positive feedback to include in your pitch deck, and you would keep the negative feedback for yourself and the team. But traction, it helps to show, and especially if you can cite numbers during this specific segment, it helps to show exactly what it is that, or how attracted persons are to this product or service. All right, so market. This gives a general idea or a general breakdown of the market you are trying to enter. Let's say, for example, you are looking to enter into the financial market, for example. So you are starting a business. Let's say the problem is that persons who aren't earning a monthly income are unable to get a loan. So you are starting a financial company that offers loan to persons who their job is just a hustle. So them sell some stuff. They have a shop downtown. They have a stall downtown or a shop in the country. So because of that, they are unable to actually get loans. Now, bear in mind that these are persons who would be considered very high risk, but you have decided that you want to take this on as your target market or target audience for your business or for your business idea. The market would give an idea of what's happening in the space. So there are 100 other financial institutions. Of that 100, only 10 of them cater to the same customers that I am after. Of that 10, only one of them is a direct competition, and then you'll see how that connects to the next slide. Of course, depending on which industry your business or product or service falls in, it would have different areas to be highlighted. And these are areas that you can just pick up on and then include in the pitch deck. It don't have to be, and again, I will just reiterate that as much as possible, you want to keep it simple and clean. You don't want to have persons questioning what it is that you're putting forward. Yes, they will have questions eventually, but you don't want that to be the main thing that jumps out. And competition. So you would now show who else is in the space that you are trying to enter. What percentage of that market do they have? What's their control like? So is it a monopoly? Is it a case that you can easily enter into the space? What advantage? And again, the advantage would come in here. What advantage do you have over these competition? And the business model slide. Simple put, this slide shows how you are going to make money. So no need to complicate it. I'll make money based on a monthly subscription to clients, or I'll make money based on the interest rate on the loans. So it's really simple, just stating how you'll be making money. And this slide now is the slide that investors would find very, very important, or the slide that they are most keen to. So investing, so how it is that you are planning to spend the money. So you're looking to raise $100,000, and of that $100,000, 10,000 will be for marketing. Hypothetically, of course, 10,000 will be for marketing, 50,000 for setting up an office location, and next 30,000 for increased product testing. So this slide basically shows what it is that you want and how it is that you intend to spend it. So a little mini budget. Contact. This I think probably persons would overlook because you're saying, oh, I don't need to put my contact. I mean, I can just tell them that, but what if it's a case where you submit or you send your pitch deck to someone? No, they're just looking at a well done pitch deck, but they don't know how to contact you, or they've just reviewed all the pitch deck and all they have for you is just an email. Probably it's the company's email. So when when they send an email responding to your pitch deck, you overlook it because you didn't realize, and because it's the company official email, you're not even checking it that much. But just kind of giving you, of course, you check the email, but just giving you scenarios of why it's important to include the contact details. So that's the 12 slides. Like I said, quite a few of these can be teamed up and included in your pitch deck as one slide, cutting it down to as much as only 10 slides, which is an ideal number. So just to review before we carry on, the introduction slide, the team slide, just to go back a bit, the introduction slide can literally be just your company's logo on the front page and the name of the business. It can literally be that simple. The team slide, the problem slide in 3 clear, direct, and undisputed statements. So you don't want them to be questioning, is this an actual problem? Is it something that needs solving? So solid and undebatable. Advantages, solution, the product that you're offering, traction, market, competition, business model, investing, and finally the contact slide. Again, just to reiterate, you guys will get the presentation to review on your own, so you'll have all of this to go through. We can mark it up if you feel like, make notes on it if you, whatever you wish. But just before we move on, let's just see if we can get somebody's idea and if we could possibly pull the pitch deck apart. Well, put the pitch deck together, part of the pitch deck together. So just anybody in the chat can just share. Anybody? Nobody? Roderick says, how about mine? All right, Roderick. All right, so we're going to give Roderick some time for share his idea in the chat while we just move to the next slide. All right, so I see Yannick has shared. So she's saying that her idea is for a virtual assistant business. All right, so the introduction. So as I said, you can literally just put your logo and the name of the business, and that's literally it. The team, let's say it's you on this slide, you can highlight what skills you have that make you an ideal virtual assistant. If it's a team of persons, you can include what that management cohort look like. So if it's only you, you can put yourself, hi, I'm Yannick, I am a organized person, I have this certificate in this area. If it's just you, you can use the team page as a mini resume. The problem, what is the problem that you are trying to solve? Entrepreneurs are, and again, it's very important to have undebatable statements, but these statements might be debatable. But entrepreneurs live a very busy life. Entrepreneurs are unable to manage their social media presence effectively, or their business social media presence effectively. And entrepreneurs need help with scheduling meetings with clients and teammates or team members. So now you would include what your solutions are. So your solutions are email management for entrepreneurs, social media management for entrepreneurs, and virtual assistant services. And then you kind of explain on what those services would look like. Product, I mean, let's say that you decide to develop a software or a website where entrepreneurs or your clients can log into this website and upload what it is that they are doing for the week, or upload different tasks. So this is where you could show a demo of what that site looks like. You can have you can actually make like a screenshot of it and put it. Of course, this is just me trying to just go off the idea. So you would put that there, and then you can show what the product look like or what the service would look like. Traction. So let's say you have 5 persons who you have already been doing virtual assistance, or you've been offering virtual service assistance to. You would get some testimonials from them. You can include those testimonials here so that persons can see, hey, this is actually a thing. The market, you can say there are, for argument's sake, let's say that there are 800 entrepreneurs in Jamaica. Of that 800, there is 200 of them who are without a personal assistant or a virtual assistant. And then you can say what size of that 200 that you are interested in targeting. Competition. If you are aware of who those competitions might be, include them here. Let's say I know that there are softwares that could basically be considered to be offering virtual service assistance. I mean, it's not the same experience because it's a software, and just as how you could have went in your email and actually replied to the message, this software, I don't think, would make it as efficient or as much the same experience as if you had an actual person. Business model, how do you intend to make money? This is a retainer-based service where clients would have to pay, let's say, for argument's sake, $50,000 per month, and this would look something like, you can probably have a breakdown of what those prices would be. So let's say social media management is $30,000 for the month, and email scheduling and answering is for, well, email management is for 20,000, and scheduling is for 10,000. So you can have a breakdown of exactly what those services would look like and what the costing would be. Investing. How much is that you're asking for? I'm asking for $80,000. Argument's sake again, this $80,000 will be used for marketing and advertising. It will also be used for setting up the platform, or setting up or getting access to a software. So let's say that there's a software out there that is the industry standard for virtual assistants. You'd have to get access to that software because that's what the international or standard is in the space. So you say exactly what the amount is that you'd want and how you intend on spending it. Contact. Hi, you can put your name. I'm Yannick, and my contact is yannick@gmail.com. Simple 10 slides all put together. What we'll do now is we'll just discuss how it is that you put those 10 slides together. So it's a simple task, but at the same time, it can be a hit or a miss. So pitch deck do's. You want to tell a story. So number one, tell a story and engage people emotionally. Everyone loves to hear stories, even the investors. So tell an exciting story about your startup. How it is that you started, how is it that this idea came about. Now, while you may not include this story in the actual pitch deck, in the actual pitch, you can kind of expound on things and say what it is or how it is that you started this idea. You can tell something that's, as it says here, connects emotionally. So you want to have them either laughing, you want to have them feeling as if, oh, I need this. You want to have them in whatever emotion that you choose that connects to your brand or connects to the story of your startup. I grew up in the country, and in the country, we don't have light. So this is how I decided to start this business offering a service where persons can get access to the grid. I mean, something like that would connect to them emotionally, or connect to them in a sad way, but at the same time, it's important that you connect with them in some way or another. So you don't want to be too robotic. Limit each slide to expressing one idea. And again, we will see exactly how all of this comes together when we review the Airbnb pitch deck. I mean, this slide has two ideas, but you know, this would be a better example of having one idea on a slide. So this one specific thing, and that's all it is. So I literally can't miss it. Like I can't lose focus by looking at something else. So you want to keep it very simple. And I was about to say something, but I realized that it's included as well. So you don't want to make it too small, because making it too small, then I'm definitely going to miss what it is. You don't want to make the font too small either. Prepare to make a great first impression. And the saying about first impressions last is very much true. So you want to ensure that you have them on the first go. While they are investors and while they are looking to, and hypothetically speaking, while these persons might be investors or while these persons might be potential clients and customers who are looking to actually access or be a part of your company or idea, if it is that them, as Jamaicans would say, if them spirit not take you, then you are already fighting what seems to be a losing battle. So you want to ensure that your first impression is one that them spirit will take. A lot of times, what people normally suggest is that you have a general idea of who it is that you're presenting to. So you might want to research about them, get an idea of what it is that they are interested in. So that way, when you get into the room, you are able to connect with them. I mean, of course, you don't want to make it too personal. So you don't want to seem weird or you don't want to seem creepy, but it's a very thin line to cross. But as long as you are able to make that connection and that first impression last, you are already on a good first step. And of course, the first impression wouldn't just be related to your pitch deck. It's also related to your overall presentation of yourself to these persons or to this person. It's about your interaction or your prior interaction with this person as well. So, I mean, it's very hard to do, but you never know who or when somebody might be the person who will be investing or being a part of your business. So on an everyday basis, you have to be as connected to persons as you can be. So not trying to be a over out of case, or you not want to be loud or boisterous, because you never know when you might walk into a room and it's that person that you cuss off in the line yesterday. You might never know. All right, show the people behind your idea, focused on significant, relevant accomplishments for each person in a team that identifies that person as a winner. So you want to ensure that the persons who are investing or wanting to be a part of an idea, a brand, a product or a service, a company, they want to know that the people who are behind the idea are people of value, people who are worth being a part of. So you have let's use this as an example. You have a 3-person team here. You are the CEO, you are great at organizational, or you're great at strategic planning, you're great at team management. Your financial controller or your CFO here, Kerry, is a ACA certified accountant. She has a master's, or she's studying for a master's in accounting and economics, or she's completing a BSc in econ. You want to put those highlighting details about the team here. I mean, yes, you want to connect with persons emotionally, but nobody needs to know that Kerry loves the color blue, or Kerry loves sunshine and beaches. You want to ensure that it's relevant to business or relevant to your specific business idea. So relevant to their professional expertise or relevant to your business idea as much as possible. Number 5, keep a consistent look in the presentation. Use the same font, size, color, and capitalization format across all slides of your pitch deck. Looking at this PowerPoint or this presentation as an example, you can realize that, or you would realize that all the title font is the same thing going right across. The body font is the same thing going right across. The color scheme is connected as much as possible. I mean, of course, the color changes a few times, but when it does change, it stays consistent until when it changes back to something else. So you want to keep that look and feel going as much as possible or all the time. Know your metrics better than anyone. Traction speak louder than words. It's important that you can spit the numbers off the back of your hand. And while numbers are important, this is also an area that can be very confusing as well. So I'm going to go back to the relevance. You want to choose information that's very relevant to the specific time or relevant to your specific space. So using the loan idea as an example here, you don't want to be talking about what's happening on the stock exchange when your idea is to give loan to persons who aren't persons who aren't earning a steady income flow. The stock exchange has nothing, well, it may have some underlying economic connection to it, yes, but from a face value, the stock exchange has nothing to do with your market or your space, your target market that you're after. So that would be irrelevant metrics. So you want to keep it specific to your space as much as possible, and know as much about it as possible. And this as well is very important if it is that you have a team. Matter of fact, the overall pitch deck is very important if you have a team working with. So you can know everything about the business, know everything about the space, but your team members literally know nothing. Or your business partner or the person that you're partnering with know nothing about what's happening in the financial market. You guys can come together, sit down, review the pitch deck. Matter of fact, you can even work on it together. And that way you can have sound idea moving forward. All right, so things not to do when putting your pitch deck together. Don't use too many bullet points. Limit the bullets. Too many bullet points will kill a presentation. So there are so many bullet points on the presentation until it's overflowing the borders, or until you have to reduce the size because everything can. If you reach to a point where you have to be reducing the size just to let everything hold, you know that there is too much. So you need to cut something out, or you need to shorten a sentence, you need to condense it a bit more. But once there are too many bullet points, it will kill the consistency, it will kill the flow of the presentation, and it just won't be digestible. So persons looking on now trying to read all that by the time you finish the slide, and they just cannot because it's too much information. Don't make it too long. An example here is that an average entrepreneur pitch is 38 slides, but the average attention span is 10 slides. So after the 10th slide, people literally zone out after that. So you want to keep it as much as possible to 10. I mean, if you get to 12, using the example that we have on this presentation, if you get to 12, then 12 is fine, but as much as possible, try to keep it at 10. Don't read from your pitch deck word for word. It will sound robotic and you will miss the important eye contact points with the audience. You want to be, as much as possible, you want it to feel as human and you want it to flow. Yes, you want to be prepared, so you're going to practice it days upon days and weeks upon end. But one of the things that you have to be cautious or you have to be careful about is not sounding robotic doing all of that. All right, don't create a text-rich, picture-poor presentation. People cannot read and listen at the same time. Great visuals inspire and encourage people emotionally. So you don't want your pitch deck to be full of text. So it's so much text that people have to be reading and losing interest in what you are actually saying. They are going to have to choose one of the two to do, and chances are they are going to end up choosing to read what's on your slide. So you want to ensure that it's more pictures, more visuals, and then you can back up those visuals with the script that you have. Don't be unprepared as much as possible. Matter of fact, this is probably should be the number one don't on the list. So do not be unprepared. You have to know, and then it connects with so many other things on this slide. You have to know your pitch deck, you have to know your space that you're entering, you have to know the traction, you have to know what's just don't be unprepared. Try to anticipate the kinds of questions they might have and be prepared with answers. So going back to the loan example again, you want to start a loan company or a financial company focused on providing for small loans for persons who aren't earning a steady income flow. Off the top of my head, one of the questions that I would have for that startup is, so how will you get your money in a steady, or how will your cash flow be steady if these persons aren't earning steady income? So Mas Joe now make 10 grand every week where him can pay you your 12 grand every week. Mas Joe might only make 6,000 this week. How will you keep your cash flow steady? Ensuring that you are paying your bills, you are paying your employees, you are paying yourself. Um, so questions like that. I mean, going back to Yannick's idea, how is that you will ensure that all your clients are being satisfied? How is that you're going to ensure that all of them are, or you're managing everything from a personal standpoint? What time are you going to be dedicating to the business? Seeing that it's virtual and you know you're in your own space, you can literally do anything. How are you planning to keep yourself consistent or in the space, or when it's work time compared to playtime? So don't be unprepared. Number 6, don't use small fonts. Always use a font large enough to be seen by all audience members. Use 32 to 44 point for titles and no smaller than 28 point for the text or bulleted items. Again, you're going to get the presentation, so you'll have the exact sizing to be used for the fonts and the body text. So what you're seeing here is a pitch deck template. So we're just going to review what it looks like. We're just reviewing what it looks like. And after we're finished with this, we're going to take a look at the Airbnb pitch deck. So like I said, the introduction page can literally be just your logo and the name here. You can put your name as well. So John Doe, CEO, you're showing off the team. So you're showing Justina, you're showing John, which is yourself, and you're showing Sophia, and what each of these persons do. You're highlighting the problem. Again, be sure to highlight it in clear, direct, and undisputable statements. In my opinion, I think that this would be too much text, but again, this is just a template, so you'd have to manipulate it as needed. The solutions, you're connecting your solutions to the problem, and similarly, you want it to be clear and direct, not too much text. And the solution will also be a key point in you presenting an elevator pitch. So whenever you are able to answer or tell the problem that your business solve and the solution that you offer in under about 10 seconds, 10 to 20 seconds, then you know that would have nailed a beautiful elevator pitch, including your advantages, giving a general idea of the market size, product overview, sorry, and you show in here exactly how you will make money. Competitors, so in this template, it shows direct and indirect competitors, the business model, and also it shows here exactly how much money you're asking for and what it is that you're going to be doing with that money. Anybody can tell me what this is missing? What's missing from this pitch deck? Can just type it in the chat. So let's go back for a second. Let's go back for a second. So it has the introduction, it has the theme, it shows the problem, shows the solutions, it shows the advantages, it shows the market overview, product overview, it shows how the business will make money. It shows here the competitors, it shows the business model, and it shows the investment, but it's still missing one slide. What's that one slide? Traction. Good one, Macaria. So I guess it's actually missing 2 slides. So it's good that you pick up on that. I actually didn't realize that it missed the traction slide. So it misses the traction slide, but there is also something else. I just reviewed your slide. Oh, there you go, the contact. So I don't have no contact information. So I just review all of this slide and I'm ready to invest the $750,000, but I don't know who to give the money to. I don't know who I'm investing or who I need to call to get the money to. Okay, guys, so almost finished. What we're going to do now is we're going to review the Airbnb pitch deck. Like I said, it's one of the first pitch decks to actually become available to the public. And of course, Airbnb would have raised some insane money from this pitch deck, but it's also viewed as one of the standards of how pitch decks should be done. So the introductory page, it literally has their logo, Airbed and Breakfast, and of course, this would have been the original logo that they started with. So Airbed and Breakfast book rooms with locals rather than hotels. In 3 simple, undisputed statements, they have included their problem here and the problem in 3 different ways. So problem is that price is an important concern for customers booking travel online. Hotels leave you disconnected from the city and its culture. No easy way exists to book a room with a local or become a host. I mean, of course, at that time, most of these things, especially the Airbnb culture has grown now, but back then persons weren't looking to invite a random stranger into the place. Persons weren't looking to spend the night in a random stranger's home. But you can see how it has grown, and when we go down somewhere, we'll see how they have connected the market potential to all of those issues. So the solution here, in a simple way and connected directly to the problems, the solution here is a web platform where users can rent out their space to host travelers to save money when traveling, which is connected to the price. Make money when hosting, which is connected to there not being any way where to host for locals to host persons, and share culture, local connection to the city. In a situation like Jamaica, I mean, tourists come to Jamaica. Well, from a local standpoint, we already know what it's like being a Jamaican, but there are persons who travel from halfway around the world just to be here to get an experience of what it's like to be in island paradise, to be in the sun, sand, and sea. I mean, of course, for everybody it would be a bit different, but everybody, the experience will be a bit different, but they want to be able to connect with the culture. They want to go to the museum. They want to speak with a Jamaican and say, yeah, man, everything Irie, man. But they can't get that from their 5-star hotel, which chances are is filled with other tourists who are looking to find someone who can teach them how to say, yeah, man, everything Irie. So market validation, or the market slide that shows what's happening. From this, it shows that Couchsurfing.com has 660,000 total users. Craigslist.com has 50,000 temporary housing listings per week in the US. And what Airbnb did as a further validation for their, let me see if they had included it in this slide. What Airbnb had did to show proof of concept is that they had set up their website at the time, and what they did was they had connected Craigslist to their website, and they converted or transferred all the housing listing on Craigslist to their website just to get an idea of what the traction is like, and how many persons would actually are actually looking to rent out their space to a random stranger, or looking to rent a space in a random stranger's home. Market size, 2 billion trips, and it shows exactly what's happening in the market. So this would be related specifically to the worldwide travel space. So trips booked worldwide, 2 billion plus total available market. Of that 2,560 million is budget trips and online, or the budget trips that are booked from online. And of that 560 million, Airbnb was after 84 million of that market size. And as you can see here, this is a test platform. I mean, it has come a long way. Looking at what it was here compared to what it is now, you can see how much it has changed, and really changed with the times as well. So this shows what the product exactly was, or what exactly the product that they offered was. Business model. So as you can see, in a simple way, they state exactly how it is that they are going to be making money. They are going to be making money by taking a 10% commission on each transaction. Going back from this original slide that showed from the market size slide, it shows that they have 84 million of the market share. So of that 84 million, is broken down into a $25 per night fee with at a minimum of 3 nights. And of course, they would have been getting 10% of that 25, which would lead to a revenue of 2.1 billion. So it shows exactly how the company will be making money, and what type of money, or what the money looking like. And this is really what investors want to hear, second to how much money that it is that you are after. Adoption strategy. So this is also considered as the go-to market slide. I mean, some persons may not include it, but it is included here as part of Airbnb's pitch deck. But what it basically shows is how it is that you're going to be rolling out this idea, or showing the growth of your idea. So they were after events, and as part of the backstory of Airbnb, that's actually how it started. One of the founders were looking to attend an event, and they couldn't find nowhere to really stay for the night. So they're after events, and they show exactly what the money looking like, or what the people looking like, the people potential, or the market potential, after partnerships with persons who are also in the space of cheap and alternative travel, and Craigslist. competition. So in a matrix, using this specific matrix, what Airbnb did was just to highlight the different competition, what it is that they have over them, or what it is that makes them comparable to other competition. So as you can see here, Rent a Home has online transactions or the ability to conduct your transactions online, but it's also expensive. When you look over here, rentobi.com is offline, but it's also expensive. Couchsurfing, Craigslist, bedandbreakfast.com, it's affordable, but it's also offline. So it really don't touch all the points that of the problems that they had originally brought up. So where Airbnb comes in now is that it's affordable, but it's also online. And their direct competition here would be hostels.com, because they are also affordable and online. Of course, the persons who are offline would be indirect competition. These are direct competition, but direct, but not so direct, for want of a better term. Competitive advantages, what makes you different, what makes you stand out? First to market, for a transaction-based temporary housing site, they have host incentives. So if you are the host of a home, you can make more money over couchsurfing.com, list once, design and brand, proof. So they basically just show what it is that they have over these persons in terms of their competition, the advantages. And like I said here, now this is where you highlight the team, highlight what it is that they are doing, and things that are directly related to either business or directly related to your company itself. Not business, sorry, either related to their professional development or your business itself. So Joe is an entrepreneur and designer. He holds a patent for his product Crit Buns. He's a graduate of the Rhode Island School of Design, has dual BFAs in graphic design and industrial design. Brian is the business development and brand, I think it should be brand strategist, I'm assuming. He's the founder of Brian Chesky Inc., industrial design consultant, a graduate of Rhode. So you get the picture. So you want to highlight these persons and highlight specific achievements, professional achievements that you can piggyback off and say that, hey, I have a Rhode Island School of Design graduate working with my company. I have a graduate of Harvard working as a developer in this company. Press. So this press slide is also called the traction. This is also the traction slide. So as you can see here, they would have included what persons have been saying about Airbnb. Airbnb and breakfast is a fun approach to couch surfing. Think of it as Craigslist meets hotels.com, but a lot less creepy. A cool alternative to a boring evening in a hotel room. And this would basically validate their idea. So yeah, man, that business idea, it can actually work. It actually makes sense because people are actually trying it. People are actually booking to live in a stranger's home. So, and it validates your idea and people can see that, oh yeah, man, this makes sense. Here we go again with the testimonials. And the financial slide. I mean, it's 14 pages, but really and truly, the testimonials and the traction could have been combined into one. And I think there was another page that could have been combined into, and I think the adoption strategy. So it could have really been cut down to 12 pages. So financial. So they are looking to raise $500,000. So they're looking to raise $500,000. I'm realizing now that they didn't include what they'll be using it for. But in the heading here, it said, we are looking for 12 months financing to reach 80,000 transactions on Airbnb and breakfast. assuming that they would have been using that 500,000 to offset development of their site or to offset marketing, that type of thing. So, and these are questions that you wouldn't want to be asked while you're making a presentation. So you don't want persons to be saying, so where are going to do the money? You want them to have a clear idea of what it is that they'll be using your money for, or you will be using their money for. So in a nutshell, and what I have here a link that shows you examples of the worst pitch decks in history. So as you can see here, unnecessary text, who cares? And it shows the information will also show, or the link to the site will also show specific details on the pitch deck itself and why it's not relevant to include what was included, but it also shows the good of or some of the best pitch decks as well. So as you can see, Airbnb is included here, and it shows why this is important or why it was a great move. It shows why this was not a good move any at all, because this is so much and it's so fine. In the citation here, it says glasses and magnifying glasses still unreadable. But that's the refresher in a nutshell, guys. Just to give you a heads up. So let me see if I can just bring this back and stop sharing my screen. So why is it that we decided to do this refresher? We know that persons would have persons who were present when DeAndre made his presentation would have been aware of some of the do's and don'ts of pitch decks. But as our way of closing off the mentorship program, or this aspect of the mentorship program, we have decided that we'll be hosting a pitch competition, which was always included. But I see Antonio have a question. All right, go ahead, Antonio.
When you finish.
Okay, all right. So, as part of your overall submission for this experience, or your homework from this experience, is that we would like you to create a pitch deck and actually make a presentation from your pitch decks. As I said, you'll have this document to review. You can go over it. You can read it 1,000,001 times. The video will be on YouTube as well, so you can review that and put your pitch deck together. We will be giving prizes to the best pitch decks. We won't say what exactly those or that prize is, but just as a hint, let's say it's valued at close to or over $50,000. So that's a hint. While this is the official, or this will be the official close of the workshops section of things, we want as much as possible for persons to be connected with their mentors moving forward. We want to strengthen those connections as well. So to understand that there might be a few persons who still haven't been in touch with their mentors, or still haven't had as much time or sessions with their mentors. So we are currently in the process of communicating with them and trying to get things going as much as possible, just so that you guys can be still connected. Go ahead now, Antonio.
Yeah, so night again, everyone. As it relates to the pitch deck, I noticed that most pitch decks, they have a sample of your product. In my specific case, I am doing a startup, a tech business, but I have not built the software as yet.
Okay.
How would you go about putting that in the pitch deck if you don't have a sample that you can show persons.
Is it a case where you can put together even a mock-up of that software? So while it may not be the working software where they can actually test out, if you can at least put together what the layout of it will look like, that would be good to include. So let's say you can show them that this is what a viewer will see when they enter. This is how it will work. And you can explain how it will work. So while you can't actually include examples of the site working or the software working, if you can fake it, and I use the word fake lightly, but using even Photoshop, you can design what that site will look like. If you get what I'm saying, to design what that site will look like and include that as part of your presentation.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Yeah. All right, any other questions, guys? So just to recap, and all the dates for the submission and also the date for the presentations are in the group chat. As I said earlier, we are currently working on strengthening the overall experience or overall communication and general experience with your mentors as much as possible. I know that for some persons, the experience would have been better than some, but we have to get some more persons in a better position or push persons in a better position where we can see you guys going forward with these mentors. I mean, we tried as much as possible to ensure that these mentors would have been persons who are connected or directly connected to your space. And hopefully that would be, or that will lend itself a greater impact on your business idea. While the project or the overall program itself was time bound, we had asked that mentors not put a time on their interaction with the mentees. We're still asking for that as much as possible. And we're expecting that the mentors who haven't connected as yet, we're expecting that the relationship should be ongoing from here on out. I'll just, am I missing anything, Roderick? Like Roderick Khan. But so that's everything, guys. I mean, I hope you guys had actually been taking notes. I'll be sending the pitch deck example. I'll be also sending the presentation, and I will send a link to worst pitch decks in history and some of the best in history as well. So you can review those, so you can know what not to do and what to do when putting your pitch decks together. The pitch decks may not be marked by us. I mean, you might never know if these persons reviewing the pitch decks are potential investors or persons who may be potential investors. So you want to give it your best shot. And I mean, if you do it right now, just know you want to do it again when you're presenting to potential clients or potential investors. Look at it from a standpoint of you putting together the Bible of your business. So not necessarily putting it together because you're going to be pitching to someone, or you have to think big. So not because, oh, I just have the idea and I haven't built the software as yet, I'm not going to do the pitch deck because there's nobody, I can't present an unbuilt site to somebody. Have to think big as much as possible. Think of the idea and then blow it out of proportion in a good way. But that's everything, guys. We will